Hey, Brandon.
How's it going?
Over here. Last week you said you gave your performance a D+ after Ball State. How would you grade your performance today?
I learned from one of our own in our building who played here and to not give grade as a quarterback. So I'm going to hold back on that. But I thought the offense performed to how we wanted to perform today.
How was the feeling after today's game? You said last week wasn't good. What was the feeling after today's win?
It's much better than it was last week. I think we, as an offense, I think we really fought play in and play out. So I think, like I said, we executed how we wanted to execute today, and we feel good coming away from it. And obviously, there's so much more to learn. So we're excited for that.
Brandon, this is the third week in a row of that opening drive. You head right down the field. What kind of comfort do you have with the scripted plays that you've rehearsed during the week?
Yeah, I think I said week one, you run those opening 9 3 or 4 times throughout the week, so you do get comfortable with those looks and your progressions throughout those reads, and obviously the offensive line does a good job of preparing themselves through running those plays to give us good looks and pick up good yards and drive down the field.
Is there something that can be gleaned from that comfort with those progressions and how the line jumps out right there that can be applied more to the next 3.5 quarters?
No, you just got to keep the same energy. Understand that we've ran through so many of these plays throughout the week, and we have to just execute them. And like I said, keep our foot on the pedal all 4 quarters.
Brandon, how would you rate the offensive line? I'm not going to ask you to grade them, but how would you rate the offensive line's play today? Do you feel like they improved?
I do. I feel like they improve day in and day out, and I think they take it upon themselves to, put me in the best position to make me feel good back there. So those guys really care about me, and obviously when Ian goes in, they care about Ian. So like you said, they improve. I thought they improved today.
And I know that Coach Kelly said you and Ian have bought into the kind of quarterback switches when they happen, but just from a pragmatic standpoint, how difficult is that to come in and out? How do you get yourself so that when you come back in, you're back in a rhythm?
I think it's only time spent, like 2 or 3 plays at most. So Coach Kelly's right. I think we both bought into it, or fully bought into it. Whoever, however, to get a W, we're going to do it. So obviously it worked today, so we're excited.
Brandon, I think some people would be surprised when you said you're happy with how the offense executed just because, not a ton of points. Was that Vandy's defense, or what all you think?
I think they're an SEC defense, and they have personnel that is going to match up with a lot of offenses, and those guys are on scholarship too, and they prepare. They practice all week. They watch film, but for the most part, I think we did what we wanted to do. Maybe not execute, but I think we came out and we fought hard. We started strong. We started fast, and I think we finished strong. So that's been an emphasis this week, and I think we did that.
Brandon here in the front. I guess regardless of whether it was a maximum performance or an improvement, how would you just sort of describe the identity of the offense right now, and what do you think the biggest next step is for you guys?
I think it's still out there, honestly. I think we're still forming that identity, and Coach Kelly came up to me and said, we wanted to, week 3 is time where you kind of, form that identity, and I don't think, just looking back on these first 3 weeks, I don't think there's something that we can kind of hang our hat on yet, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's not, but, as we practice more and see who we become, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I guess is that the lack of identity through it, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter?
3 wins, man. I mean, I don't care if we have an identity if we win.
Brandon, I know you're not the one that threw him the touchdown, but to see Nick Wisher grab that TD, what can you say about him as a leader and how excited maybe the whole sideline was to see that? Every
time he catches a ball, you see the rest of the sideline get so riled up. I mean, it's awesome to have a fifth-year guy who came back and wanted to contribute, to more than just winning football games, but to the community and such a bigger picture for Wish. And we're excited for him. And whenever he gets the ball, it's typically, or whenever he's targeted, he typically catches and makes a great play, like he did today.
What does he mean to the culture of this team?
Like I said, he came back, and obviously it was his own decision to want to contribute and to want to lead by example. And I think he's done a great job of doing that. And young guys are able to follow his lead, and he does everything the right way. So obviously he produces when when he's targeted.
Brandon, you ended up running a lot more in this game than you did last week. Was that part of the game plan for you guys this week to have you run the ball more?
I think so. I think I had to use my feet more than I did last week, and it's one of my weapons, and it's deemed effective when we're playing teams. So I think running lanes were there for me, and I had to take advantage of that.
Being able to be that versatile, does that help you guys game plan better? Do you feel like you have an advantage knowing that you can run the ball when necessary?
I think it's an advantage, and I think if you're smart with how you run the ball and protect yourself and know when to run the ball and when to not run the ball, I think it can be used to the offense's advantage.
One more for Brandon. Brandon, not just you specifically, but Tony ran for 118 yards as well. How different is this offense when you guys are able to have success running the ball?
I think it opens up a lot more. Obviously, it's a cliche answer, but I think the run game opens up play action, opens up regular pass. It kind of they'll stock the box, and I think things on the perimeter become more viable for us to attack, and we'll keep improving and getting better at the run game.